You know how fast you were going?
What? How fast you were going?
I don't know. 10?
8.
Be advised, this is an explicit podcast, so if you're easily offended, get your panties twisted into a knot, turn this off before you get butthurt and mad, start to cry, have to run to your safe space. All opinions are those of the host and his guest and do not reflect the opinions of any government agency. Welcome back to the MOTORCOP Chronicles podcast here in the clubhouse. We have a guest in studio today who can be a full patch member, an active working motor man. We're going to introduce the Maverick into the studios, the clubhouse here, and we're going to go ahead and go to church. We'll start out with my normal stuff. I'm going to ask you a few questions, which I didn't tell him I was going to ask him, which I think I know some of the answers for already. Where's your favorite place to eat? Your favorite restaurant?
You're going to laugh about this, but it's Taco Bell.
Ooh, first guy that didn't try to sling out some high-dollar restaurant. See, he's a poor street motor cop like me, knuckle dragger. Yeah. I already know pretty know the answer to this one. What's your favorite beverage to drink?
Water.
Yes, he's one of the non-alcoholic people. Unlike me, I'm drinking some delicious summertime right now, which is the old smoky, salty watermelon with some Sprite. It's like drinking summertime. Go get you some, try it. Your favorite TV show?
Seinfeld.
Really, I'm surprised that I really didn't take you for a TV watcher much.
Well, I mean, when I was growing up, Seinfeld. I got the whole collection. I just like Seinfeld. I just thought it was one of the funniest sitcoms out there.
Your favorite movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
That's a very good movie. And bust out new Scarface or something. Are you a 10 mile an hour over guy or 15?
Oh, definitely 15.
He's nicer than me. I'm a 10. We all know.
Yeah, I've rode with you many times. I know.
We'll pull you over for doing 11 over. Of course, I think we just watched something the other night. Last night, me and Bam were watching some documentary on Netflix. I think it's fake. I'm not sure if it's real or not. The ones where these so-called guys in their motorcycle club end up riding with the Hells Angels. But they got pulled over, and this cop supposedly rated them for doing 5 miles and over the speed limit. And I'm like, really? I've never in my life written. I haven't even pulled people over for doing 5 over.
Nah.
That's what I think it's fake. Yeah. It's just I don't know. I'm gonna have to research on it because this documentary don't seem right. The Maverick is a motor instructor where he teaches up and coming aspiring future motor cops how to ride through the cone pattern to get them certified. I've been out there when he's teaching a few times, which we can all say has been quite hilarious.
Oh, it's always every school you always got. Well, in some schools you got a couple different issues, but it's always somebody's going to put one in the canal. Somebody's going to jump a curb. The bike gets away from them, goes across the parking lot by itself.
Remember, it was before you. I'm not quite sure. It was a person you used to work with in the old department. The short fella.
Yeah.
And it was a Walmart parking lot. The training was going on, and he jumped the curb, and on the other side of this curb was like a 10-foot deep ditch, and all we saw was his little feet flicking in the air, and the bike and him disappeared. We had to get a four-wheel drive truck and hooked his motorcycle to get it out. I say a ditch; it was a canal to get it out of the canal.
That story got many a days of getting posted on the grease board in the office.
Yeah, it was. He didn't get hurt, but it was funny as shit. The last school we had, Kirby, who was in that school, he's been on the podcast, and he could tell you that. I think we talked about how he almost didn't make it through.
Yes.
You were one of them that actually talked to the other instructor of kicking him out of motor school at one point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after the like second day, we got his bike out of the bushes, and he hit the curb a few times, and I guess that's where he got the Kirby from. But he was he struggled at first, and a lot of times people do. I remember. I used to race dirt bikes as a kid. I grew up racing, Honda dirt bikes, and my dad was my sponsor. That's back in the day when your dad had to sponsor you, and we always took the front brake completely off the motorcycle. You didn't touch your front brake on a dirt bike, because if you did, you went over the handlebars. It was just so when I got to my first time in 2004, I went to motorcycle school, and I remember the instructor telling me that 90% of the braking is the front brake. I'm like, what? Front brake?
Yeah.
Who touches the front brake? And it's just it's always an experience when you get these fresh guys out there, because especially the guys that have been riding for a little while, because you got a lot of hard, bad habits to break with them,
They don't realize it's better not to know anything than to
absolutely
been riding we call it, I've talked about before, we call them toe draggers.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's hard to, what's that saying? It's hard to teach an old dog new tricks.
It is.
So when you get the ones that have no experience, it's like teaching a puppy dog. So,
right.
No, Kirby did jump quite a few curbs. I don't know if you remember him jumping a curb and driving through the grass and almost hitting a couple trees that were in the parking lot.
Oh yes, I currently have those pictures still on my phone. Yes.
And we did talk about the Chick-fil-A incident.
Oh my God, yes.
You actually took him for a couple of hours after that and just by yourself and worked with his riding abilities for a while. But
yeah,
he's come a long way. He's still out there going. I just saw him yesterday, actually.
Right, and it's honestly it's like having kids. It's like watching your kids grow up, and it's 2 or 3 years later, you see one of your guys that you instructed, and they're riding so well, and they're doing it. You're proud of them. You think, wow, man, look how far this guy's come. And it's sometimes a little proud moment. Sometimes it's an embarrassing moment, but
yeah, and it's also sometimes sad. That's why if you ever see a MOTORCOP go down, you will see multiple agencies show up, because at the hospital, if they're at the hospital with their injuries, because it's like we all kind of know each other, and
right.
we all been around each other for so many years. I've known the Maverick for 20 plus years now, and you see people come and you see people go.
Yeah,
we're just some of the hard-headed ones. How long you've been in motors now? Total?
16 years.
See, I'm 20 years. We're some of the old people. Most people give it up, only do 6-7 years.
Yeah,
and they move on.
I definitely understand why.
We're just hard-headed. It's been hot in South Louisiana lately. Heat indexes of 100 plus. Look on the Twitter account and Parlor. I posted a picture of it when I got my units at 101.
Oh, I know. Trust me, buddy. That's why my arms look so good, but when I take my shirt off, it looks like I got a T-shirt on.
Oh yeah. I got people all the time. This lady says, "Oh, you got such a nice tan." I said, "Yeah, because I have a shirt on." I said, "If I took it off, you would be blinded right now." The hell of a farmer's tan. I don't know. They need to call it a MOTORCOP tan.
I guess so.
Farm,
yeah.
But and I don't know about you, but I even use sunscreen, and it's still just I turn dark.
Oh yeah, but it's you get that first little burn at the first part of the summer, and that's it. And pretty much after that, I start getting a little darker.
Yeah, well, I started using sunscreen years back because you remember the Ticketmaster who retired. I'm still in contact with him. Hopefully one day he'll come on. I know he listens, but he's a little nervous about it. We had a discussion. Thought he was gonna hurt my feelings. He didn't hurt my feelings. I totally understand. I get told no all the time, but he still goes, I think, to this day, and has to go have like small parts of skin cancer burned off his arm and his head because he's bald headed. Because I'm hoping he comes on one day so we can talk about his crash. it's a horrific crash, and that's what I don't want to talk about without him, because he can. They had a doctor wrote a whole article in it in this medical journal. It was such a horrific crash, but he has to get him on that sunspots or something. He's always, so I try to put as much sunscreen on as I can. So it's just kind of hard sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'll just be greasy.
Yeah.
You also went to a Harley mechanic school, so you're a Harley Davidson mechanic also.
That's correct. Yeah, I went to the MMI school out there in Orlando.
He's just like a jack of all trades, the Maverick, yeah.
Master of none. Master of none. Hey, no, what I did, it's just a school. It's not really like I can't bore an engine out or anything, but it was more of a maintenance school where I could just do the general maintenance on the motorcycles. I changed tires, changed brakes, changed clutches, add the emergency lights to our new bikes and take them off and stuff like that. It's not that I can rebuild the engine or anything. It's just the fact that I can just do a little maintenance stuff.
It's a whole lot of help, though. I can tell you what.
It is.
If you can change your own clutch.
It is. And when, years ago when we had started that motorcycle division, money was limited. When you start a new division, people don't understand how much money it costs when you got to go, not just purchase the motorcycles, but you got to get boots and pants and helmets and radios and things like that. It's a hit. And just the maintenance on the motorcycles was just a big hit. And then, so by sending me to school, it really helped out a bunch.
Yes, people don't realize when the department I used to work for, they tell them, make sure when you get in here, you want to be in here. First, we tell them, make sure talk to your wife, because I don't know if where you're at does it. Where I was from before, we all had each other's wives' phone numbers, and no, it wasn't for no nasty purposes, you nasty-minded people. I'm nasty-minded too, but it's not for that reason. We had it for the simple reason that if one of us got in a crash, we wanted one of our fellow motor cops to call our significant other to let them know, because we all knew each other. I didn't want the administration calling, nothing against them, but they're not around our spouses and stuff. So, and I've actually had to make a phone call one or two times, and one time I was so upset about it. I gave this person's wife, told her to go to the wrong hospital, which he was injured. He had some broke bones. It wasn't nothing life-threatening, but at the time we didn't know how bad it was, because he got ejected 30 feet off his bike, But yeah, his wife was kind of, well, now it's his ex-wife, but she was mad at me for a little bit because she was at the wrong hospital. I was like, my bad. So,
that would be something to get upset about.
But them putting them bikes together, all them wiring and stuff, I'm tell you what, it's that's something right there. That could be like a spider web of wires and stuff.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better with the new LED stuff and all. It's gotten a lot better, but yeah, you're right. It's still time consuming, and but I like taking on those kind of challenges. It's something different. It's fun when you go out there every day doing the same old stuff. It's every now and then it's fun to have a little different thing to do.
Oh yeah, and then smaller departments don't realize when they do get into motors, and I was saying before, make sure people want it to be in motors, because like I have big calves, so I've always had big calves even before I gained weight, just from playing football and everything. So my boots have to be custom made because of the size of my calves. My boots run around $700 a pair. I think y'all get y'all's pants from the same place. We might order ours a place out of Florida.
That's right.
So you're looking at $130 to $150 per pair of pants. Then you got your shirts. I know the radio. The sheriff let me order to put on my bike. I don't know if y'all are not running radios on bike. Y'all using portables?
That's right. We still use portable, okay. But I saw your new radio.
Yeah, sheriff let me order that. That's almost $7,000 for one radio.
Yep.
So it does get quite expensive. Then you got you got to buy the motorcycle,
right,
and everything else. So if you talk your department into getting a motor division, it does cost a little bit of money up front. Our rain suits, our jackets are like those rain jackets. I think they're Blower we wear. They're like $400, $500, $600 just for the jackets.
And then the leather jackets in the winter.
Yes, I love my leather jacket.
I do too, man. I think they look awesome. But it's one of those divisions that if your department has, and in my opinion, it's the PR division of the department. I mean, I've done so many grand openings and so many cool things like escort dignitaries and things, and it's just it's one of those departments. I think it's the guys who dress really nice. Your uniform looks great. Your bike stay nice and shiny, and you get out there and you represent your department.
You got to be able to talk to the people.
You got to.
You got to be out there. You're shaking babies and kissing hands.
That's exactly right.
No, I'm just joking. We don't shake, baby. But if somebody does just want to get into motors, you better be ready for be able to do a little public speaking. I haven't had to at the department I'm with now, but I used to every year be in schools, giving classes, demonstrations constantly. You got to be able to stand up and talk in front of people without being nervous.
I remember one year they brought a helicopter in. And we used to go, show the bikes off to these little kids, and it was a state helicopter, and when they brought it in, when the pilot got out, he said, if I'd known they had motorcycles here, I wouldn't even came. He said, because the kids love the helicopters, but they love the motorcycles. They really do. And it's awesome. It's one of those kind of jobs you got to want to do it because it's hot in the summer, it's cold in the winter, and it's wet when it rains.
Well, I talked about that funeral we worked for that EBR deputy not long ago.
Yeah.
I talked about how miserable that was in the rain and dumping water out you had to be just as wet.
Oh, it was just.
I thought we were going to get killed by lightning.
That was. I haven't been that wet in years.
I didn't take a shower for a week after. I didn't have to. I was still wet from it. The wife wasn't happy, but I was helping the environment, water and soap. I'm joking. I try to bathe on an everyday basis, or she wouldn't let me in the bed. Because I'm pretty stinky. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty stinky when I get home.
Oh yeah, I have when I rebuilt the house after the flood, we put in what my wife calls a mud room, and that's my mud room is right next to the utility room, and that's where I'm instructed to change clothes at.
No, she ain't sure. She told you to do
it.
Yeah, you just do it.
Yeah, I'm voluntold to stay right there.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Voluntold. If you've ever in a sheriff's office or basically any police department, that is a word, voluntold. They say you volunteered, but no, they told you to go do it and just said you volunteered.
You're just smiling to be there.
Yeah. Now I know you've won some medals and trophies and stuff in some different motor competitions around the country and stuff like that in states.
Yeah. It was I was always a competitive person, and then riding dirt bikes as a kid, I've won a few trophies, and I just always felt that it was fun to win, and I like to get out there and try to do my best. And hey, if somebody beats me, hats off to them. I can guarantee you one thing: I'm not going to give it to them.
No, you're not. He's very competitive, and Maverick's a damn good rider. I just like to go out there and not fall down and make an ass of myself. I've been called driving Miss Daisy. I think I talked about it before. My old lieutenant from a long, long time ago, he actually told me one time, he's like, it is not physically possible to go that slow and lean the bike over that far without falling down. He said, I don't know how in the hell you do it, but he said, it says, I'm slow, but I'm consistent. I'm never going to win a speed race. I like going into competitions. Only time I ever won anything, as you can see up there, is when I was went and competed in Canada. That was the year Katrina hit. That was so long ago. Yeah. And I just like going to talk to the guys, do some riding, and get some training in, and the brotherhood of it and everything else. I mean, just meet people from all over the United States will come down to these competitions and stuff. And I don't know, I like visiting.
I agree with you. I totally. The motorcycle world, the police officers across the country, it's a nice big family, but the motorcycle cops are just even a tighter family. And I know that when I go out of town and I'll be riding through a town, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I know somebody from this town, and I usually give them a shout and say, hey man, I'm coming through town. And it's just it's one of those kind of things. If you're anywhere and you pick up the phone and call a MOTORCOP, they're coming for help. I know one time I was actually on my way to a motorcycle competition and had some motor issues with my truck that was pulling my motorcycle, and I needed a part. I picked up the phone, and I mean, motor cops came from everywhere. One of them went to the parts store, picked up the part for me, delivered it to another guy who couldn't pass another agency, and passed it on to him, and he brought it to me. It was just it's a tight family, and it's something I'm happy to be a part of.
Yeah. Like I said, I can retire in 4 years. I want to do 7. Depends on the environment in the country. The area we live in, we haven't had any issues like that or anything. We have a lot of good citizenry around the multiple parishes all around us. Thank God. So hopefully I'll be able to do my 7. I think about sometimes, I'm like, I'm actually like, I don't know, nervous about giving it up. Even though I'm getting old, I'm like, what am I going to do after that? I've been a motor cop for over 20 freaking years of my life, and it's like,
I just yesterday I went to the Harley store to pick up some parts for our new motorcycles we got ordered, and there's a retired motor cop that actually works in the back of Harley now, and me and him was just talking, and how he's talking about he misses it. He actually misses the being a part of the motorcycle world, but it was just time for him to move on. But it's now he's back working in Harley. That's how much he misses riding bikes.
Yeah, I have my personal bike. I actually have 2 personal bikes, but it's not the same.
It's not.
And the wife, we don't ride. My personal bike's an 08 Electric Eye Classic that they don't even make them like that anymore. It's still a skinny tire.
Right.
I said I got the old skinny tire bike.
Tire, yeah.
Love my skinny tire bike.
Yep.
And I think it's got like 8,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
And they tried last time I was up there for something. We were out riding, and I stopped, and they're like, "Oh man, you gonna trade your bike in?" I'm like, "No." I said, "My bike's great." And they're like, "Why?" I said, "They got these new ones with all this fancy crap on them, and I don't know, it's like a TV screen, all this other shit." And I'm like, I said, "My bike's better." They said, "Why you figure?" I said, "It's paid for. It cost me like, I don't know, $10 a month for insurance. I mean, it's completely paid for, and it's only got 8,000 miles on it."
Right.
I mean, my personal car. I don't know about you. Well, I know you drive either your unit or your bike, and I know we live in the same area. We're both working outside agencies, so I drive my unit home most of the time. I leave my bike up at the sheriff at our jail. I think y'all have a shop, but it's just easier sometimes just to drive the unit back and forth. And so I don't drive my personal vehicle very much.
I don't either. I'm the same way. I haven't put miles on a vehicle in years, and I just once I get home, I'm kind of home, or on my way home, I'll stop and pick up something. But when I get home, I'm like that. I don't put a lot of miles on my vehicles.
Them personal vehicles are 06. I have a 2006 Corvette. It's got like 47,000 miles on it. So you can tell we don't drive our personal vehicles, but that's a good perk about the job. Now I want to hear some of your funny stories. You've been doing it a long time. You were in law enforcement when you were uniform cop. Any kind of funny stories? I know you got some.
Oh yeah, man. So one time at band camp, we were.
I hope you had a flute.
No, I didn't have a flute. But we were back then told one of those voluntold kind of situations that we had to come out on a Saturday and we had to write seatbelt tickets. They had so much money allocated for seatbelt tickets.
Hate seatbelt tickets.
Yeah.
I hate working seatbelt tickets.
It was I mean, sometimes I feel that you're right, but hey, you know what? We're not going to get political here.
No, the law, I've said before on here, other people listen, there's a lot of laws that I don't agree with, but it's the law, and I took an oath to uphold the law.
Right.
So I will uphold the law, even though if I don't agree with it, it's just my job. So
that's right. And so I got voluntold. It was my weekend to come out and work, that kind of stuff. And so what happened is I was sitting in an area where it's a one-way street. And while I was sitting there, I noticed this lady come by and didn't have her seatbelt on. And it was early in the morning. She had her pajamas on. And I made a U-turn, went and stopped her. And I asked her and said, "Ma'am, I'm stopping you for not wearing your seatbelt." And she said, "Yes. My doctor told me I didn't have to wear one." I was like, "Your doctor told you can violate state law by not wearing a seatbelt?" "Yes." I said, "Okay, well, I've never heard of this before." And at the same time, she says, "Well, I just had my boob operation."
She had enhancement or
enhancement.
Okay, I didn't know she had baby breast cancer or something.
No, she had the enhancement, and I actually got to witness it as at the same time she told me she had it. She lifted her shirt up and had no bra on, and I noticed that under each nipple there was about 4 stitches. And I had to take a second look to make sure the stitches were there. And then
You had to verify that.
I had to verify.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to do my job. And then so after that, I told her that it's the first time I ever heard of this, and I walked back to my bike and told her to have a good day, and she actually got away with that one that day. But it was nothing that honestly, I understand where the problem would be.
Yeah, you don't bust a stitch or nothing.
Right. That's
And since she proved to you that.
yeah, she had the proof, and it's just like yeah. So that was an interesting morning. But probably one of the most embarrassing moments I had. All the years I had worked for the city, we used to do 2 big parades a year, and everybody knows that when you're doing a parade, we're out front and we're getting everybody excited about the parade. We got our sirens going. We're high-fiving kids and things.
I love high-fiving kids.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Well, no, that's my thing. I try to give everybody a little high five doing a back and forth in parade route, both ways.
Yeah, that's what, so we'd zip up there. Well, every now and then, me and a couple of guys would give each other a nod, and we'd go get in a little tight circle, and we'll do our little, dragging our footboards and stuff. And well, all the years I've done it, all the years I worked there, and my last time working for the city at the parade, I caught one of those reflectors and ripped my entire right footboard completely off my motorcycle as I planted face first into the concrete. And then, that's embarrassing. But then as a motor cop, the sense of humor of the other motor cops that have to do this Indian circle around you with their siren going.
Yes,
laughing.
yes, we're going to draw every attention to you.
The laughing and the pointing of, hey, ha ha, that was probably my embarrassing moment. Growing up in the town, knowing a lot of people.
Everybody knows you.
And then everybody knew that you just busted your tail right there in front of everybody.
I said it in another one. I did that in a homecoming parade and the sheriff was directly behind me. Hit a reflector. Like I said, I don't know. That's the best fucking glue ever in the world that they use on these things. It ripped the floorboard completely off. I busted my butt. Then right in front of the sheriff. Another time, same city parade you're talking about. When I was in my younger days, I was showing off and I was riding side saddle in the parade. Yeah. Things went wrong. Bike fell down. I fell down. People are laughing. I get up, pick my bike up. I'm going farther down in the parade at this time. Yeah.
I'm going to cool my bike.
Yes, my bike is hot at this moment. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one day, another funny story. I was riding home. I had somewhere to be. I got off at a certain time. I had to be somewhere at a certain time, and I don't know if anybody's ever been around the Baton Rouge area and noticed that the Baton Rouge has a problem with directing traffic, and traffic was jacked up. It was jacked up bad. Well, I simply just hit the shoulder. I turned my lights on.
You on your motor?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
And I hit the shoulder, and I had it lit up. Well, I passed the agency of the town I was going through, and here I am from a different agency. And so when I got home, of course, I got that phone call about, why were you going through that town with your lights and sirens going?
In the wrong direction.
In the wrong direction. That's exactly right. And I simply had to think real quick. And I was like, well, man, my bike was, it was hot, and it was about to quit on me, and I didn't want it to just stall out on me. And then so the person on the phone goes, well, absolutely, that's the right thing to do. Yeah, we don't want to tear the bikes up. I said, well, that's what happened.
Which everybody knows a Harley Davidson is an air-cooled engine, so
yes.
It's not a lie, and they will start shutting cylinders down when they get overheat.
And then, so if y'all want to use that, anybody listening, it's a great excuse to say it started pinging. That's the word you want to use. It started pinging, and so I accelerated down the shoulder.
When I haven't done it too often, I've done it, but when I've got to the other agency, I stopped and said, I didn't know y'all were up here. I was going to see if I need to clear the road. Y'all need anything? No, we got it. All right. Go on about my business.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw what the issue was. I think it was just backed up. I don't know, but I know I made it home in time that day. I do know that.
Oh, I've sat in Baton Rouge traffic sometimes from crashes on my way home on it, but I've sat there for 2-3 hours before waiting to get home when they got one of them crashes with people. People, if you get in a crash, civilians, and your car is drivable, especially in Louisiana, you do not have to leave the vehicle where it's at in the roadway. If it's movable, move it out the roadway.
It's state law.
Yes, move it out the roadway.
Move it.
So many people, it's like, no, I got to leave it there. No, get it out the roadway. I don't care. I took this one guy's car. They got in a crash, and he was missing the front wheel, but it still cranked. And you should have seen his face when I got in his car and put it in gear and drove his Lexus off the roadway on 3 wheels. He just like, nope, by state law, so we're not financially liable. It's already broken, but we have to clear the roadway because that's how their accidents happen.
Yeah. Even if it's on a bridge, get off the bridge.
Oh, yes, please get off the bridges. Yeah. Always on the bridge. Well, we have that long bridge in my jurisdiction. You know how bad it gets out there sometimes, too.
Yeah, get off the bridge. We'll come to you.
Well, you've been, I think you've been lucky. That's me knocking on the wood. You haven't had any, like, crashes or nothing.
No. Yeah, I'm a knock, too.
Yeah,
I'm
on it.
knocking, too.
Well, I can't say that. I've had 3. So I'm making up for you.
Yeah, that's, trust me, I've had many close calls. I was in a pursuit one time with this old girl, and I say that. Let me correct myself. I thought it was a pursuit. I just didn't realize she didn't have brakes, and I was chasing her down, and she kept. I thought she was on something, but apparently she was just mashing the brake and nothing was working, and she was panicking. Was what she was doing. So I decided that I was going to show her that she was going to stop for the police, and I went around her and slowed down, and that was a mistake because she kept coming, and then I got out of the way, and then when she hit the ditch, she realized. Yeah, that's when I realized that she didn't have brakes. So
people don't realize they freak out if your brakes do that. Just jam it and park. You might tear your transmission up, but it's going to stop.
Yeah, but
because you're going to crash eventually if you can't stop.
So I've had that close call. I've had a guy come over on me, and then that happens. But one guy came over on me so fast that I put my size 13 in his door and left a big old dent. And which time he was upset with me, but it was just one of those, those moments in life where your body just kind of like takes over. And first thing I thought was to kick. I don't know why, but I just kicked, and it got his attention.
Oh, it will get their attention. Yeah. I wasn't on a work bike at the time. I was on a civilian bike. This was 15 years ago, and I was in that city used to work. Me and an ex-wife now at the time, we were riding, and this guy pulls out and almost hits me. I look at him because I could damn near look his side window so close. I look at him and he laughs and thinks it's funny. But the Iceman didn't think it was funny. The Iceman 15 years ago lost his cool because I was a whole lot more hot-headed back then, which you could vouch for.
Yeah.
I'm way calmer now. Well, like I said before, I always wear gloves when I ride. From crashes, thank God, because you're going to put your hands down, people. You don't want road rash on your hands. Well, I balled up my fist and punched his side mirror off his car. Well, it was a minivan. I punched his side mirror clean off. I'm talking not just the glass. I'm talking the whole mirror. And looked at him because I was still that close and told him to pull over because I wasn't finished. I still wanted to punch some shit. Well, I think he got really scared because he gassed it and took the hell off and disappeared. He didn't want to pull over, and I don't know if he called the cops or not. If he did, I guess they had him a plate or something. I don't know, but this dude thought it was funny because he almost killed me and my wife at the time.
Right.
And I mean, it's not funny. I got into a face-to-face with a 18-wheeler truck driver on it's a state road, but it was in the parish. He stopped, and I was working this day, and waved a car out right in front of me coming out of a McDonald's parking lot, where I almost T-boned it. I mean, it was like inches that I got this bike stopped. But when I looked over, the truck driver was laughing. And well, I put the blue and red lights on, right there in the middle of the state highway. Both lanes shut down. Got him out of the truck, and I'm pretty sure he knows what my breath smells like because my nose was touching his nose as we had a little come to Jesus meeting to him.
Yeah.
And think he might change his mind next time. People, for a safety tip. Let's do this safety tip today. If you're sitting in traffic or anywhere else, I know you think you're being nice or whatever, and you're going to wave somebody out of a parking lot or something like that. Don't do it. First of all, if they pull out and they get in an accident, guess whose fault it is? It's your fault because you just directed them to pull out. Or you're going to get somebody killed on a motorcycle or car. Don't do it. I know you're trying to be nice. We appreciate it, but people do that to me all the time, and I won't go. If I can't see what's coming, I'm not going to pull out because I'm not going to take a chance to get hit. I've been hit twice. I got my first crash I got into was because of that. And so don't do it, people. Safety tip. We understand you're trying to be nice, but you could cause an accident and get somebody killed.
And that's the tip of the day.
Yeah, that's my tip of the day. Safety tip of the day. I ain't done many recently. I did see a guy on the interstate yesterday. It was yesterday. On my way home on a crotch rocket with flip flops on.
Yeah.
Shorts and no shirt. I tried. He was too far over. I was hoping he was going to come by me because I had my phone up. I was going to videotape him and put it up for you on Facebook and all that stuff to show people. I was like, yeah, that's not safe. But I was going to.
That's what they call an instant strawberry.
Yeah, I'm like, I've had road rash. It's not fun.
No, it can't be. I've seen people with it. It didn't look fun at all either. When your skin's hanging off, 2 or 3 inches off your hands and back and things, it didn't look good.
And you have asphalt and stuff embedded in your skin.
Yeah, I hope I don't ever have to deal with that.
And it gets infected. And they put gauze on it and they let it dry. Then they reach up and they grab the gauze and rip it off after it's dried. And you call people all kind of bad words. But it's called they call it aspirating it, and it got all the blacktop and stuff out of it, and it healed up after that. But yeah, it felt like, 'cause at first they were digging pieces out of it, and it felt like somebody had a blowtorch.
Yeah.
On my arm. I'm like, it likes it in there.
So apparently they knew what they were doing. It just hurt to get it done.
Yeah, and it hurt when I had to go back too because it got infected. Wear your proper gear.
Second safety tip of the day.
Yeah, I always talk about the gears, the wearing proper gear. So you told us the boob story.
Yeah.
Which that's a pretty good boob story. I hadn't had one that quite like that before.
Yeah, that was like the second stop of the morning. So the rest of my day was a good day. Had a good day that day. Also had a lady one time, and listen, I'm one of the softest guys you ever want to meet for as tickets. I think if I got to write somebody a ticket, that they're upset about it and all that kind of stuff. So there's a good chance if you just talk to me right that you're not going to get a ticket from me. But if you're one of those kind of people that has an excuse, you're gonna get my autograph. I promise you. So one day I was working on a construction site, and they had lowered the speed limit down significantly because of the crashes we were having there. And I had a lady come through, and she was, at least 20 over the new posted speed limit, and which is probably what the old speed limit was, close to that speed. And anyway, I stopped her, and she told me that she had. I asked her, do you realize why I'm stopping you? She said, yeah. Apparently I was speeding. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, well, is there some kind of something going on? I mean, you need to go to the bathroom, or is there some kind of medical emergency? She said, no. If I don't get home in like 10 minutes, I'm gonna miss American Idol. And I said, well, you realize that you can video it, you can record it, but it's not the same. That's what she told me. It's live. It's not the same. I said, okay, we'll just stand by. I'll be right back. I got you a driving award here for today. It's just.
I prefer it DVR, which I get the younger generation. I'm like, I say I tape it. Now, like, right? I say I tape it. Oh, you mean I'm DVRing it. I'm old. I grew up with VHS tapes. I still call it taping it.
Yeah.
But I prefer watching stuff like DVR because I can't stand commercials.
It's some of the other stuff that aggravates me. Being in law enforcement people that don't have their priorities in life straight. You know, I'm pretty sure y'all have talked about this before, but you know, it's when I stop someone, I always notice that, you know, if their car's got some kind of issue with it, and the reason I stopped them was because of an inspection or something like that, and they get out and they got a brand new iPhone and, you know, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. Seems like to me you don't have your priorities straight. You know, get your car fixed before you go pay $1,100 for a phone there, you know? And then that kind of stuff that, you know.
$18 inspection sticker.
Right.
But you can't afford that, but you can get.
That stuff right there gets you a driving award for the day.
I pulled somebody over Thursday, which I posted this on Twitter and Parler. If anybody wants to go look. Got me I was on the interstate, 99 and a 60. And they were just, had no excuse. I said, where y'all going? They said, we're heading to Houston. Now, they had just left the Baton Rouge area. I'm like, are you late for something? Because that's like I'm not sure what's Houston, a 4 to 6 hour drive or something. And I'm like, they just really didn't have no excuse. They were in a rental car. Don't buy a used rental car, people. Yeah. People just tear the shit out of it. I mean, they were doing 100 miles an hour in this Ford F-150 rental vehicle, just cruising on down the road. Anyway, she got an award.
Yeah.
See, actually, on that one, when I first got behind them and I had my lights and sirens on, they wasn't stopping. They were acting like I thought they were going to run again. Not again, but I thought I was getting ready to get another chase up there, but they wasn't stopping at first. So when they did pull over, all I could see was 2 people in this vehicle, and I'm out on this bridge area by myself. Closest backup probably 20 minutes away at least. And I don't know if there 2 people I didn't want to pull over at first. So yeah, I didn't point my gun at them. I had it unholstered. It was out the holster and in my hands, and I told them let me see their hands. Once I realized what was going on and they didn't have anything, I put it up. But I told them, I said, next time, you know, just pull over. I don't know why y'all nervous didn't want to pull over. I said, that time, you know. They kind of looked at me like, who, you going to shoot me? It's like, no, it's one of me and 2 of you. I don't know who's in this truck. Or
that's right.
Like, I don't know, you know. No, I don't want to shoot nobody, people, but I want to go home, too. And I'm not going to take a chance of it. I'm not scared, but I'm not stupid either.
That's right.
Well, that's on the news a lot now. It's like, if you're scared to be a cop, you shouldn't be doing it. That time it's not being scared, it's survival.
I would like to take one reporter with me one day.
Oh, yeah.
Just one day. You just say, hey, you walk up to that car. Go ahead. Just walk on up there and let's see what they're going to do. I've seen one of the news reports where one of the guys, they actually did it, and, you know, he panicked and shot the, you know, they had the simunition. And he panicked and shot the guy who had a cell phone in his hand. Yeah,
they don't realize it happens that fast. So
yeah.
I wish they all had to do that, and the politicians too.
Yep, I totally agree.
So you got any good, funny motor stories recently?
I don't know about recently. I mean, I used to work with one of the guys that you currently work with, and that was a funny story every day.
He's supposed to come on. I think I'm going to nickname. I already thought about his nickname. I haven't told him yet. If it's the same person we're talking about, I'm going to have him nicknamed Clifford for the big red dog.
Yeah.
We talking about the same person?
Yeah.
Yeah. His name's going to be Clifford.
I think of a bunch of other different nicknames than that. But
well, he's a ginger.
Yeah.
So I was going to give him the Clifford. That's a good one I could think of on him.
But yeah, it's no, I mean I mean we don't have a you know, a lot of the action no more, but because we do a lot of different things now. But hopefully here soon we'll get to go run some more escorts with the football team if that ever pans out.
Well, we got to get sworn in, I think, next week.
Yeah, we do. But I mean, hopefully, you know, after this election, all this stuff will go away and we can get back to our.
Well, my thing is they're still having the games. They're still got to have the same amount of people escorted there.
I don't know.
They did, right?
I don't know what they're going to do, man. This is
messing with my damn extra money.
Yeah, I just don't know what they're going to do. This has just been a joke, and to my opinion, I mean, I have a sideline business that requires me to go do things, and it's just been a joke. This has been this virus thing that they just put out there and blocks the whole world from doing anything. Is just, in my opinion, we're grown people. Just go do what you want to do. I mean, look at Sturgis. I mean, Sturgis right now is 100,000 people there, you know. And my thing is this. It's like the governor of South Dakota said, if you feel that you're prone to this or whatever, then you stay home. We're not shutting everything down for you. You stay home.
Well, that's that town's total economy for the whole year.
Absolutely.
If they shut that down, that town would go bankrupt.
I mean, and look how great we were headed. The country was breaking stock market records every day, and we were just doing so well. And here comes this thing, you know, and it just, you know.
My father-in-law and my mother-in-law both recently had tested positive. My mother-in-law was in the hospital for a little while, but she already had breathing problems before. She always had bronchitis. So, but she's in her 70s, but she's back home. And my father-in-law, who's in his 70s, he got it, and he had never had one symptom whatsoever.
I know.
And he's a tough old man. I'm gonna say this, but like I said, I think it's, you know, me personally, I'm not a doctor, but if you get it, you get it. I mean, tens of thousands of more people die from the flu every year.
Every year. And you know what the funny thing is? They have a vaccine for the flu, and still that many people die. I just think it was just a way to wreck the economy, to try to mislead people for this election. It's just my personal opinion.
A lot of people have it.
Yes.
Same one. Like I said, the other day I wore my, mask, like a neck sock thing when I made traffic stops, just because I don't feel like hearing people I don't feel like getting into debate and hearing them bitch, why don't you have your mask on? Yeah. I just slip it over my face. Hey, if you can fart through blue jeans and underwear and it still stinks, that little piece of material on my face ain't stopping.
I totally agree. I mean, you know, when this stuff first started out, you had to have this N95 mask. It's the only thing that was going to stop the virus. Now people are taking panties and putting them over their face and expecting it. You know, it's just one day they say it's good, one day they say it's bad, and I'm just over it. I'm so over it. I'm just ready to get back to my regular life, you know.
Saw a video the other day.
I can't even go eat at Taco Bell. They won't even let you inside.
No, you got to eat tacos and you call. Yeah. And just, if you don't get the right one, that lettuce and shit will drop on your shit.
Yeah, exactly right.
Somebody said, Todd was telling me about the video the other day. So that this guy in Walmart had messed with his wife. He took a cup from the like a athletic cup and put some elastic on it. His wife was walking around. Told her, here's this mask for you. She's like, well, it's not working. It's got these holes in it. So he took part of a maxi pants in it, and she was walking around with this jockstrap cup on her face through Walmart and stuff.
Well, speaking of
with the maxi pants,
people at Walmart, you know, I pulled up there the other day. We had a person in there that had sticky fingers, and we were waiting on them to come outside. And then while we're sitting there in the front waiting, this lady's walking through the parking lot, and she has her mask on, and like right as she's approaching us, she takes her hand, pulls the mask off her face, and sneezes, and then puts the mask back on. I'm like, that defeated the whole purpose of the mask. You just blew your germs everywhere, you know. Just what is this? I guess she didn't want to sneeze in her mask, you know. I mean, I just, you know, do the old vampire cough or something, you know. She just out there in everybody's face, you know. It's like, okay.
Well, I just saw a recent little article thing, like at Target. You know, selling all these masks and stuff. They got them hanging on the rack. They have a mirror there, so you can try the different mask on to see which one looks better on your face.
There we go.
So you got all these different motherfuckers trying the same mask.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's like, did y'all think this through?
Yeah. Apparently not. You know what kills me is Look, I am the furthest person from a liberal you ever want to meet in your life. I'm the most conservative person you ever met. And to see these people on TV, these teachers across the country, we don't want to go back to school. We think it's unsafe. Yeah, but I just saw you at Walmart 2 days ago in there shopping.
Yeah, they just want to do the virtual. They don't want to go to work. They just want to keep getting their paycheck.
Right. I mean, there's 300 people inside of Walmart. I saw you there. I spoke to you there. And now you're saying you don't want to go back to school because you're scared of this virus? I mean, come on. I mean, it's time for this thing to go away. It's just, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's killing the economy. It's killing the way of life. You know, my kids have been home for 4 months now, 5 months. And, you know, it's just like, I'm ready for them. I saw those videos where they just pull up to the front of the school and you see the
Kick them out.
Yeah,
Get out.
that's what I feel like doing. Like, go do something.
Yeah, it's like leave. It's like I didn't have you to stay home.
You know, it was funny. Yeah, you was talking about that funeral we were in the other day. Well, we had all stopped right before we came and met y'all to go gas up our motor units. You know, and we was at this gas station, and one of the guys that I ride with decided that he wanted some sunflower seeds to make it through the day. You know, while we was out there waiting, and opened the door, and the lady goes, "Oh no, sir, you can't come in without a mask." And excuse me. You can't come in the door without a mask. He's like, okay, well, when y'all dial 911 and need us, we're going to stay right out here and wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you know, this is crazy. There might have been 2 people in the whole store. It's gotten out of control.
I forgot to bring I had it, but it was in a vehicle. I had to go back and get it. The store I went into to get some dog food and stuff, they ain't say a word to me. Of course, half the people in there didn't have masks on either, so I think it's hilarious.
Well, it's
It's
like
watching the people every day driving down the road in a car by themselves with masks on in their own car with gloves on. I'm like, wow. I mean, it's like you could take it off in your car. I mean,
right. Yeah, you're right. Some people take it too far, but you know, it's.
well, the restaurants you go in, we've been out, I think, twice. Well, a couple times. Twice to the same Mexican restaurant we went and ate at, and you know, they don't really say anything, but they have it on the door, you know. But you wear your mask from when you walk in the door. And the table we sat at was like 15 feet from the door, and we sat down and took our mask off.
Right.
So it was the whole 15 feet.
Yeah. But like last night, we met some friends at a Mexican restaurant. We like Mexican here in South Louisiana. We sat down, and you know, but the problem was the waiter comes around. He sounds like Charlie Brown. You know, it's like, and I'm like, I can't understand nothing you're saying with that mask on, man. You don't know if they're smiling at you or what. You know, it's like, take it off for a second. Just tell me what's the special for tonight. Okay, I don't understand what that is. Just give me a menu. You know, then they got to take the menu and they got to tear it up. Oh man,
Well, we went and ate at one place, steakhouse place, and they don't even have paper menus. They have their menu online, so you got to get on your phone and go to their website and look at the menu on your own phone. Yeah, I'm sure the people in the back cooking probably don't have masks on.
Absolutely not.
Breathing on your food.
Yeah.
If you go to McDonald's or something like that, I guarantee if you look back there, the cook people, I bet they don't have masks on.
Yeah, you know, and you go up to the window now because everything now is drive-through only. You go up to the window, like I did yesterday morning on my motorcycle to go get me some breakfast, to go find me a picnic table to go eat on.
Plexiglass.
I pulled up there, and the old girl, you know, takes my order, and I hand her my money, and then when she hands my change back, she puts her hand in my hand and dumps the change, and I'm like, what is all this about? I mean, what is the difference between? I don't get it. I don't know.
The zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for it to go away too. I'm ready everything to get back to normal.
Well, being a motor cop and being where there's only like 4 restaurants in town that you can actually sit inside and eat, it's tough. I mean, we literally have found a place that has picnic tables, and we'll send one guy to the store and to go get the drinks, and then we'll go send somebody else to the drive-through to get the food, and then we all meet back at this one place to sit there at the picnic table and eat. It's just crazy.
Where it's 90 degrees in the shade.
In the shade, that's exactly right. You know, and it's not very nice to sit out there in the heat and shooing flies away and everything else while you're trying to enjoy your lunch. But
That's why you saw us in our units the other day, because of that same fact. We can't go sit down and eat nowhere. You're hot on your motorcycle. I don't know about y'all. Don't y'all have like a motor office or something like that?
we do, yeah.
And so we don't even have that. So if we want to go inside and cool off anywhere, we got to put a mask on our face. I can't cool off
Right,
with a mask on my face.
breathing in more carbon dioxide than you are oxygen.
Like just the other day, I mean, it's so hot. I pulled up at the courthouse to go turn tickets in. And they have this, when you walk in, they got this thing you stand in front of. Is like some kind of scanner thing that actually detects your temperature and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been sick. I feel fine. Got off that motorcycle and walked in there. I had to go out and cool off for a second because I think my temperature showed like 100 and something. But after I stood in the shade for a while, it went down. I wasn't sick. It was just I'm outside in the sunshine.
Right.
I mean, it's hot. The humidity's just been out the box here in Louisiana, people. Dead air. Air.
It's been hot. Yeah, of course, this has probably been one of the wettest summers I've seen in a long time too. It's been pretty wet.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed my field there when you came up. It looked like I was baling hay out there. I just got my lawnmower back and was able to get back there and start bush hogging it. I'll try to hit it again today. Did come across a few big old field rats back there. It was fun. I was chasing them with the lawnmower, and they'll get tired and stop and try to catch their breath while I'm coming up.
Won't.
Yeah. Damn field rats. And them tree rats. She keeps putting out bird seed for the damn birds, and the tree rats keep eating all of it.
You know what that brings? That brings some big rat snakes in.
I wish. We have outside dog. He lets us know when we have a snake. But of course now, you see everything's growing up around me here, so I can just go outside and start shooting my guns like I used to. Lady next door called her landlord bitching because I was outside doing something and I had music playing. This was like 11 o'clock and during the day about a month ago. And she gonna call and complain saying my music was too loud. And it wasn't that her kid was trying to go to sleep. It's like it wasn't even loud enough to hear inside the house. I feel like saying, bitch.
Yeah.
I was here first.
Yeah.
Leave. Or tell your landlord was told me when he built this trailer park next to me that he was going to put a fence up 2 years ago. I still don't have a fucking fence. Liar.
Build the wall.
He's a liar. Yeah, I want to have me a big wall.
We need a wall. It needs to be big and beautiful, large and tall.
Well, they don't come bother me because,
Could you kind of throw it off a little bit?
Well, I did. We have a big mulberry tree in the back, and I bought this blow up life size person, and it's inflatable. And I blew him up, and we dressed him up as Santa Claus, and I hung him in the tree with his hands behind his back, right where all them people with their kids in the trailer park got to drive past.
My God!
So
Yeah.
they don't mess with me because I killed Santa Claus, and he's still there, leaving there year
They don't
round.
mess with you because the parents are like, that guy over there is a very disturbed person. You don't need to be going over there to his place.
Exactly. Look. Why is Santa Claus dead? Yep. Leave me alone.
Yeah. He has one of those vans that has a hole in the muffler, and he wants to invite you inside.
Yeah. Put a sticker. I did see I think I saw something the other day. Somebody actually had a white van that said free candy inside or some shit like
awesome.
that. Old Chester van.
I just want to do that one day. Like when I would get old and retired, I'm going to grow a big old white beard and just ride through a little neighborhood. Hey, little boy, come here. See how long it takes for the cops to show up.
Yeah. Y'all seen my dog I lost? They actually do that ploy, people, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it
teach your kids.
I've seen it on those YouTube funny videos, and it's just hilarious. I like the one where the guy goes up in the bad part of town and acts like he's going to buy dope, and as soon as they say something to him, he grabs his shirt and says, come on, go, 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 and I'll take off running. I just love it. I just love that kind of stuff.
I like the one that the guy was seems like he's some kind of like FBI guy, and he like go stand next to somebody in a store. and start talking in his sleeve. Yeah, it's the guy right here with the gray shirt and red hat on. Yeah, that's him. Oh, I think my cover's blown. Take the shot, and he'll start walking away. Person starts freaking out, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to have a good sense of humor.
I'm scared I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get in a jail or something. That's my luck. Or somebody's just going to, punch me in the face or something. I'm going to get in a fight.
Yeah.
I don't want to get punched in the face.
Yeah, it's
It don't feel good. I've been punched in the face.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've got many of those moments. It's in this line of work. It seems to me the harder you work and the more you do, the more trouble you get into.
Oh yes. Well, when I went to the academy, my instructor, she was a female, but one of the first things she told us, she's like, if you do your whole entire career in law enforcement and never get sued, you never did your job.
Oh, yeah.
I took care of that in my first 2 years. I was in federal court getting sued.
Let me tell you what happened to me. So one night, one of the other agencies was in a pursuit coming through our town, and of course, I was at the time assigned to this high crime division, and we worked nights, of course. And so
You worked for a Hug a Thug program?
no, it was Catch a Thug program.
Okay.
And so I heard the other agency was in pursuit, and I jumped into pursuit. And then, of course, when it came through our town, I was the lead vehicle. I was right behind the car. And as the car was trying to cross a bridge, the 14-year-old who didn't have a license, who took his aunt's car without her permission, who had his 13-year-old girlfriend in there with him, who decided to go to Walmart and steal a bunch of alcohol, lost control, hit the guardrail, and flipped over and landed upside down into the gore area. It wasn't the water, but the gore area underneath the bridge, in which burst into flames. So I then put my car in reverse, backed down, grabbed the fire extinguisher, went down there and did as much as I could to keep the flames off of them. Neither one was wearing a seatbelt. They was tossed around pretty bad in the car. The fire department showed up, threw the hose over the side, extinguished the flames, drugged the two, the bodies out of the car, which they were still alive. And, so, at the time, the department I was with, gave us life-saving awards and all that stuff. And then like a month later, I get this big package in. I open it up, and I was like, what is this? It's a lawsuit from that call because I wasn't medically certified to remove them from the car that was on fire. And I could have aggravated their injuries. It was what the lawsuit was about. I aggravated their injuries because one of them had a neck injury, and I pulled them out of a burning car. But, it's like, really? You gonna sit here and tell me I'm getting sued over? Okay, but hey.
So the parents of these kids sued you for helping save them.
Yes.
But they would have sued you if you'd have sat there and let them burn to death in the car also.
But instead of the parents saying, well, you should have learned your lesson for, one, not having a license out, stealing stuff at night, driving somebody's car without their permission, none of that means anything.
No, not my baby. My baby don't do nothing wrong.
Right. It's yeah, exactly right. It's and instead of them saying, well, hey, that you need to chalk that up as a lesson learned, no, it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah, it's all their fault. First of all, they took the car they wasn't supposed to be driving. They stole stuff, and then they were running. All of the circumstances that led up to you pulling them out of the car was all their fault. It was bad choices. Yeah, I take it they didn't win nothing.
No, they didn't. It didn't even actually make it to the hearing, but
they tried.
Well, the thing is, they want to get paid. Somebody says, and another thing that people do is they'll throw a lawsuit out there to get their charges knocked down. Hey, if we make a big scene about it, they'll knock it down to nothing. Well, I'm sorry, I'll fight you as far as I can. I mean,
or they're hoping the insurance company will just write them a check to shut them up.
Absolutely, and it's just not the right thing. Look, I'm gonna tell you, in my life, I've been wrong. And I've done things that I wished I wouldn't have done. I've been caught doing things that I wished I wouldn't have done. And the thing is, it's when you're caught, you're caught. And when it is what it is. If you knew you were doing something wrong and you got caught, trust me, my dad wore my tail out a many day because I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing. And it's one of those things in life that you learn from. And
own your responsibility.
And if you want to make an excuse and well, my dad beat me when I was a kid, now I'm this way. No, you're this way because you're that way. And if you want to keep making excuses, you just keep on it. And I dealt with a guy the other day who had a drug problem, and we were dealing with him. He was out breaking into cars early in the morning at a motel. And when I finally caught him, he was running from us, and I finally was able to get my hands hold of him. He was upset about things and didn't really know how to communicate with me because he kept making these excuses about, well, you don't understand. I said, no, I don't understand. I don't have a drug problem, but listen to me. He's making all these excuses, and I told him, we was right there by a motel room. I said, go in there and go look in the mirror and talk to that guy, because you can sit here and lie to me all day, but go look at yourself in the mirror. And when you talk to him, you can't lie to him because he knows the truth. So go in there and talk to that guy in the mirror. When you find yourself, come on outside and finish our conversation, because I'm just tired of these lies, man, and these excuses. You're busted. We caught you with the loot. We caught you doing it. You're busted. Just accept it. Say, hey, man, I thought I could get away with it, and I didn't. I got caught.
This ain't my pants.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know whose pants they are. They're mine. I don't know where that come from.
They were laying beside the bed when I woke up.
Yeah, I just woke up and get that.
Yeah.
The blunt ain't real, but the smoke is. Take your ass to real jail then.
We're going to take a short break real quick. We'll be right back.
Stand by.
We interrupt this program for an important announcement. Ladies and gentlemen.
Are you standing by? A very important message is coming. Are you still standing by?
We interrupt for this breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
There's a podcast that happens on Saturday night that you need to know about. All right, can I get out of serious mode? Let's go to goofy. Okay. Make sure to listen to Louisiana Saturday Night. Robert and April are your hosts, and they talk a lot about current events. And occasionally they'll have a guest and include them on the conversation. It's raw, it's blunt, and explicit. Well, if there is one thing I know, and that is I like dirty. Anyway. It's for anyone who wants to have fun and not take life so seriously. And God knows we need that these days. Robert and April on Louisiana Saturday Night. Check them out at louisianasaturdaynight.podbean.com.
All right, we are back from break. My bladder feels better. We're going to start this one off. We're going to do my little in the news section here. Yeah, I've been looking for a news thing. There's so many. I haven't found one I really liked yet. This one comes out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. They had a big arrest down there recently. You know what they arrested and put in the back of their police car?
An alligator?
Nope, a kangaroo.
Oh.
They captured him bouncing through a Florida neighborhood Thursday morning after they got calls about him. And they captured him and put him in their squad car. And I think they housing him where they keep their, I guess they have a mounted patrol, keeping them where the horses are. But they caught the kangaroo, and the owner wanted to get Jack, the kangaroo, back home, but they wouldn't give it to him because I think they have a kangaroo ordinance or lack thereof. But poor Jack is got arrested. They actually had a video of Jack. Didn't look like it was super hard. He was quite tame. They just walked up to him and picked him up. He wasn't one of them big giant kangaroos. I've seen some of them that are quite scary and big, but he looked like one of them little mid-sized ones. They just walked up and picked him up, and I don't think they used cuffs on him. But they did.
They'll knock the fire out of you. I've seen videos of.
This one looks like he was only about 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
And the owner was wanting to get him back because he said he has a pet corgi, or however you say it. And him and the kangaroo are good friends. And I think the The dog is missing Jack. But yes, in Florida, y'all are safe once again in Fort Lauderdale.
The kangaroo has been captured.
Jumping Jack Flash, the kangaroo, has been captured. Your lawns are safe, people. That was my in the news today.
They have a lot of exotic animals in Florida.
I want a camel. I want my own hump day camel. I found them. You can buy a one hump camel, baby camel, for about $3,000. Now the two hump camels start out around 12 or 13,000. I don't know how one more hump costs so much, but the one humpers are cheaper. The wife always shakes her head because she knows I'm dead serious that I actually do want a camel, and I will one day. She may come home and wish me be a camel here. I have enough land for it, and I can have my own. I was going to call him Humpy McHumperson, my camel.
Oh my God!
You can find them. You don't have to have a permit for a camel. I do know you in Louisiana it's against the law to own any kind of primate without a proper permit.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get one of them little spider monkeys and couldn't get one.
Well, I got some property that I own. It's in the middle of a urban part of city. Like there's houses everywhere, and on that it's 20 acres I own, and there's a little 2-acre pond out there, and I'm out there, mowing the grass, and I say mowing the grass, I'm bush hogging it, and I got my wife, my kids are out there, and I got my dog with me, and I'm out there by the pond, and I'm showing him. I let the dog jump off in the pond. I got a leash on him, and I keep looking over it. I keep seeing this log moving, and I'm like, I yank my dog out. There's an alligator in my pond inside of this urban part of town. I'm like, and I don't know how he got in there. I don't know if somebody put him in there or what, but yeah, he's about a 4-foot alligator, and he's there right now. I just day before yesterday, I stopped by, checked on him, and I think somebody comes by and feeds him, because when you pull up in a vehicle, he comes to the vehicle
Oh yeah, somebody's hand feeding him.
I think so. I think that's what's going on. But hey,
I bet you know how he got there. Somebody was out fishing and caught a baby alligator and brought it home for a pet and let it loose.
Yeah,
I got one in my pond one time, an alligator, and the guy that lived next door come to find out it caught a baby alligator, and it got loose and got in my pond. Well, when I finally got it out the pond, he was about 3.5 feet long.
Yeah, that's what I see. That there's a person that lives right there by my property who has a nice trail cut to my pond, and I think that's
yeah, they probably put it in there.
I think that's the culprit right there.
Alleyed alligator just starts eating people's kids and cats and dogs. I also want some fainting goats. Of course, the wife says I can't have a fainting goat either, because she says it's mean because they fall over scared and they could hurt themselves. I think they are extremely funny.
Yeah.
That they just fall over with their little legs all stiff and shit.
So where I work at now, there's a whole mess of them up on the main highway. And don't think that every time I don't pass by there, I hit the air horn.
They all fall over.
They got this little house they're on. It's like a little dog-looking house, and they'll be standing on top of it, and they fall off. And, every time I pass there, I got I get my siren or something. I'll tell you, it's funny. It is funny. It's okay. I'm not.
It's not hurting them. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's their safety mechanism.
They should fall over like they're dead. They're so cute and funny.
Yeah.
She's like, no, every time you go outside, you're going to scare them and make them fall. I'm like, yeah, that's why you have them. I mean, there's no other reason to have a fainting goat.
I don't know what, how, I just hate to say it like this, but kids these days aren't like, when I was growing up playing football, we played an opposing team, we wanted to kill them. I mean, it was, they were the enemy, we were the good guys, we had to win, but now I go to these games and these kids are like high-fiving the other people on the other team, and and like they lose and they don't even get upset or nothing. It's weird, but
that's because everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah, I know everybody gets a trophy, but so I grew up with the animals. I did. My dad was a big animal lover. We had dogs and cats and that's about it. But anyway, so my kids have been begging me, please get a dog, please get a dog, please get a dog, and So my wife was like, absolutely not. So eventually we gave in to the kids and decided that we was going to get a dog. But we was wanting to get an inside dog that we could, we didn't have to have a pen and all that stuff to leave a dog outside. So we did a bunch of, research on these inside dogs. We found this golden doodle that is pretty popular with the women and stuff like that, because these dogs don't shed. They they're pretty tough. He's 50 something pounds now. He's about 2 years old. But this is what's changed since I was a kid to today. These dogs are trained to ring a bell to go potty.
I think you trained the dog to do that.
I know, but
did you buy the dog trained?
No, I mean I bought him. He was 10 weeks old, and the thing is, it's like I grew up, that you had to go shove their face in it, and tell them no and all that stuff, and now it's so. What the lady told us about when we purchased the dog, and it was a funny story because we went to Alabama to get him, and unfortunately that day I had a LSU Tiger shirt on. And I went into this house and I thought I was in the shrine of Alabama because they had Nick Saban's picture hanging on the wall and stuff. And they were like, there's no way this dog's going to an LSU house. And I'm like, absolutely it is. Here, take my money. But she explained to us how we had to feed him and all that kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, well, y'all need to stop at one of the pet stores and pick up this video. It's a DVD on how to make them go potty. And I was like, yeah, right, whatever. I've had dogs my whole life. And sure enough, we stopped. We get him, we get him a pillow to sleep on, and we buy all this stuff and harnesses and all that. And sure enough, there's this package over there, and there's a bell hanging in it that you hook to your doorknob, and there's a DVD, and we went out there and took his paw and rang the bell, and then took him outside, and he used the bathroom, and we celebrated it and gave him a treat. And it's amazing now that every time he needs to go outside, he goes and rings the bell just like a human.
Yeah, we tried that with our Great Danes. They ate the bell.
Yeah. Well, they could probably open the door with them.
Well, we have 5 Great Danes, and I think the smallest one's about 140 pounds. And, I've had to fix all kind of stuff. The big male, one of them was in heat one time. We were keeping him separated, and he started pounding on the bedroom door. And I actually had to take, fence screws to... he didn't take the door down, the whole frame. He pushed the whole frame of the door out of the wall because he wanted it out of the room. They kind of do what they want to do. That's why we have the studio over here, because if we tried to do this in the house, all you would hear was dogs barking the whole entire time.
Yeah, he's got a great deep voice. I mean, he's got one of those barks that you just think that if he can get out, he'll eat you alive. So the UPS guy doesn't like us no more. The FedEx guy, they leave the packages way out by the road, and they don't realize that if they were to open that door, there would be a big old puddle of pee on the floor, because that's where he would pee and he would run, But he just has that aggressive bark. But he's my buddy.
Our UPS guys and stuff are getting nervous quite often when you hear ours go to barking. We had one time had one of them wouldn't get out of the car to deliver our package. She actually went up and got it because they were scared. And they were in the house.
Yeah. But
they didn't want to come out. But, hey, it's the best alarm system I have, because there's nobody breaking into my house.
That's right.
So, my big male's about 186 pounds. So.
Yeah, if somebody breaks in my house, the only thing I got to watch for is the spot where he pees at. And then I'll make sure I don't slip down as I'm going to get my gun.
Mine are pretty nice. The 2 older ones are getting a little grouchy. We got 2 that are 7 years old, which is old Great Danes, because they're maybe 10 years. So we did find out our next dog, what we're going to get after all of these are gone, and it don't shed. It's can't pronounce the name of it, but we saw it on one of the dog shows. It's a Mexican hairless dog. It's about 40 pounds, and it has 0 hair. So I'm going to buy a doggy sunscreen, I guess, the dog. But all our dogs live inside except for our grand dog that we've been asked to watch, hold on to my stepson. That was 5 years ago. Still got him today. He's a good dog, though.
Yeah.
You got any last final story? Anything you want to throw out there? I know you have a trip you have to make to go help out a friend.
Yeah,
a long drive.
I got to tell one. It's a funny story. So I was still assigned to that criminal patrol division at one time where we went out and worked in the high crime areas, they call it. And so I had a guy riding with me one night. He was a reserve officer, and he would ride with me. And so we're on a street that is known for high drug trafficking area. And while we were on that street, we understand that there was a armed robbery that happened at a convenience store. And they said the perpetrator left going in the direction where we were already at on a bicycle. So it was like a Tuesday night. There wasn't a lot going on. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, we're going to spin around and he's going to fall in our lap. I mean, this is awesome. This is what police work's all about, man. We just happen to be at the right place at the right time. We're going to get this guy. And sure enough, here we're coming down the road, and here comes this bicycle. And it's a guy that I've dealt with many, many times before. He was a guy that lives on the street, and I just figured he done went over there and stuck the store up, So he wasn't known for it, but I mean, when you're desperate, there's no telling what you do. So anyway, I spun around in the car and I come up next to him. I rolled the window down. And I said, "Hey, you need to stop. You need to stop." And then, of course, he wasn't happy with me. He's like, "Man, you always harass me. Leave me alone." And I was like, "Man, you better stop. You better stop. I'm telling you." Well, he stood up and he started pedaling even faster, So
was it at 10 speed?
it was a barred bicycle. So anyway, I sped up too, and when I sped up, I passed him up, and then I just at that time opened my driver's door, and then I applied the brakes at a pretty fast rate. At which time he didn't have time to stop, and then he hit that door. When he hit the door, he went over the door and hit the ground, and then I'm figuring I got the bad guy, and so me and the reserve officer gets out, and we're trying to cuff him up, and and he's actively trying to resist us, and about the same time the radio keys up. He's running over here behind this door.
Oh, you done pit maneuvered the bicycle. Wrong guy.
Yeah. So he gets up and he is so mad. And I'm dusting him off. I'm like, "Man, next time I tell you to stop, you better stop. I'm going to let you go tonight." But, yeah, that was the wrong guy. And, yeah, that was a interesting night.
Oh, yeah. No, he's really mad.
Yeah, he didn't, he understood.
I'm sure.
He left and the bike was all jacked up. When he picked the bike up, when he left out, the front wheel was all bent.
He was actually riding with them.
Yeah,
bent up.
Hey, it's better than walking.
Wobbling down the road.
Yeah. So that was one of my funny nights. That I mean, we've done things, man. We've kicked in the wrong doors to the wrong houses, and it just those things happen, man. It's just we just live in a community where a lot of people just don't understand. Your house looks like your neighbor's house. Sorry. We'll fix your door.
Yeah. You needed a new door anyway.
Yeah. And we'll buy you one. How about that?
You don't even got to pay for it.
Just please don't call my boss.
Speaking of, well, the department did pay for this one. This happened within this past year. Oh, me, the Todd, and the other guy we work with, we were out running some traffic on a state road, the high traffic area. I made a stop. And the lady, she was in a BMW SUV. She pulls in. I'm tell her why I stopped her, getting her information. Well, I learned real quick, don't be lazy and put your elbow and lean on the mirror on the vehicle. Because as I put my elbow on the vehicle and I even barely put any weight on it, I mean, put a little weight on it, the mirror on this BMW SUV snapped off. Yeah, so broke her mirror. No, I did not write her the ticket. Oh. We used some electrical tape, taped the mirror back on, and had to make that phone call and talk to the major, and they told her where to go to get her mirror replaced at. And so I made a pretty conscious effort now not to lean on people's mirrors. I think it was the fault. It had to be faulty or something, because I've been doing this 20 plus years and I've never broken a mirror or anything like that. And this thing just like snaps right off.
But they don't make them like they used to.
I still had to make that. Trust me, it's not fun when you got to pick up that phone and call your boss and say, hey, I did this. And what was bad is they had a major over detectives, and when his detectives had pulled up when they seen us there and was talking to one of the other motor guys when I did this, and they saw me do this, and the passengers rolled his window up, and they were like, yeah, we got to go. I still hear about that one a year later. So, yeah, I think stupid shit happens.
Instead of being the Iceman, you ought to be the man in the mirror.
Man without the mirror, because it fell on the ground.
Yeah, I just love it when you stop people and they think that they're somebody, or they know somebody.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I had this one guy. I stopped him. It's no kidding. He was in a Rolls Royce, and he was a big developer in town. And I mean, I've heard of his name. I never actually knew him like by person. If he walked up to me, I couldn't tell you who he was. Well, I was ordered to go out and work in a certain area of town that had speeders, and I was told to, write tickets. Okay, so I did, and this person I stopped in his Rolls Royce. Told me that, as I walked up to his car, he said, do you know who I am? I said, well, if you give me your license, I'll find out exactly who you are. And then even when he handed me his license, I was like, I kind of heard of him, and then he starts name dropping,
Well, I can't stand
I know so-and-so, and I know so-and-so, and I know so-and-so. Well, that just made me more aggravated. And there's been times that I've been at it, us motor guys, we sometimes congregate 2 or 3 of us at a time, and we'll go out and work radars and stuff, so I remember one day being from a small town, working at that agency. I knew a lot of people, growing up in that town, and one of the guys stopped a car, and it was a convertible Corvette. I'll never forget it because it pulled up right next to me, and I'm sitting there looking at the guy, and before the other officer started writing him a ticket, he starts name dropping me. Hey, do you know? And I was like, and I'm looking at the guy like, I don't have no idea who this guy is, but apparently he knows that I work here, and he's name dropping. And so the officer that's writing the ticket looks at me and like points at the guy. I'm like, I have no idea. And the guy looks right at me and says, how you doing today, sir? And I was like, I'm doing great. How are you? And and he just called my name.
They're good friends.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so yeah, it didn't work out for him.
I had a guy not too long ago. He pulled him over. He started name dropping. He's going to say that, he basically said, telling me how good of a friend. Yeah, he was just a great friend to the sheriff. I was like, I looked at him in his face. I said, okay. I said, is that supposed to influence me not to write you this citation? I said, because I need you to sign right here. I said, when you see him, tell him I said hi for me, okay? Well, the next day I went and turned the citation, and I happened to see the sheriff, and I asked him about this person. He's like, who? Yeah. Like, I told him, he's like, really? I said, I think I might have heard the name before, but I don't really know this guy whatsoever. I said, well, according to him, y'all two have Sunday dinners together because y'all were like BFF, best friends, fishing buddies. He's like, no. But, yeah, I get it all the time. People can, if you stop, don't name drop. If you do know somebody like that, hey, you can get your ticket fixed, go get it fixed. Like I said, don't really care. Yeah. But when you start dropping the names and shit like that, all you can do is start aggravating the cop more.
People always, I hope you get your quota. Okay, one thing, we don't have quotas. There's no such thing as a quota. We're out there doing our job. And a lot of people get aggravated. And they're like, there's, and this is what I hear a lot, especially being a motorcycle officers. There's all kinds of crime out there, and y'all out here writing tickets. Okay, we are assigned to the traffic division.
Yeah.
We are out to investigate accidents. We are out to escort funerals, and we are to make sure that the driving behaviors of people on state highways is regulated by police. And that's what we do. And I always tell them, look, I'm here to curve your driving skills because I don't have to write you a ticket, but maybe, and then I tell that to a lot of the rookie guys. I'm like, listen, you don't have to write everybody tickets. If you stop somebody and you say, hey, I stopped you for speeding. Well, I didn't know I was speeding. What's the speed limit on this road? I thought it was 45. No, it's actually 35. If you honestly believe that they made a mistake and then that the next time they go down that road, they'll do 35, then you've done your job. You've curved their driving abilities. But there's some people who just needed an award, Some people just got it, the only way you can get to them is by citing them a nice little violation.
I give plenty of rewards. I did explain this the other day to somebody who said something. I hear it all the time. Well, I never speed. That's a lie. Everybody, I tell this person, I said, everybody speeds. I said, you got to think of it, it's like gambling. I said, you've probably got away with speeding 100 times, and you got caught this time. Yeah. I said, so you're just gambling. I said, I'm sure you get away with speeding a lot many more times than you got caught. So if you want to drive fast, take the chance. But when you do get caught, just own up to it. Take your ticket, like I told them. If you want to fight me, come to court with it. I mean, I'm more than happy to get on the stand and testify. I'm not scared of it. Like I said, I get paid to go to court. You got to take a day off of work twice. But it's like, just own up to it. I have people all the time want to apologize. Like they did something personally to me. It's like, why you apologize? Oh, I'm just sorry, for speeding, and you got to come out here and do this. I'm like, well, if it wasn't people speeding, I wouldn't have a job. Right. Okay, I'm a traffic cop.
Yeah, I like to tell people, they're like, hey, I stopped you because you ran that stop sign. Well, I'm not from here. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure the stop sign that where you're from is the same type of stop sign as we have here.
Stop means stop. Yeah. Well, I'm not from around here. It's like where I was working at. I'm like, well, I didn't notice the speed limit changed. And I said, you passed 4 signs right back there. 4 of them, because I checked. Whenever I do go work radar somewheres or laser, whatever kind of speed and enforcement I'm going to do, I'll drive the roadway and look at make sure it's posted properly. Because if it's not posted, I'm not going to write tickets.
Right, absolutely. And
so when you bust out at me, well, I didn't see it. Well, because you wasn't looking. Stop looking at your phone.
And what I love about the truck drivers, and look, trust me, I feel sorry for these guys now, especially these new e-logs and all the stuff they have to go through. But if you got to find somewhere to park, there is truck stops everywhere that would love for you to pull in there. And, because they know when you pull in, you're going to come in, use the restroom and buy a drink or something. They know that. But pulling over on the shoulder of an exit, there's 14 signs there that says no parking on the shoulder. And they wonder why when I come to work in the mornings, I'm knocking on their door and they're like, I've only got 3 hours sleep. Okay, but you can't park here. Well, I didn't know. Okay, look out your windshield. You see that sign that we actually put these signs up 10 feet tall so that y'all could see them through y'all's windshield. What does that sign say? It says no parking on shoulder, but I pulled up here last night. I didn't see it. Okay, well, they're reflective too, and then your headlights sit on, they actually reflect. But you need to go ahead and move, buddy. I know that you're in a bind and I know you got a time, but you can't park here because now it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Traffic is fixing to be crazy. And then the first time somebody pulls up here and says, I got in a wreck because I couldn't see past that 18-wheeler that's blocking the intersection, I got to put you in the report, So let's go on and move it out of the way,
Oh, you went out there and put that sign up before you woke them up.
I did. It's a magnetic sign.
Yeah. You gotta love it when they do that. We work in traffic. That's why I like working traffic, because you never know what the hell you're going to hear, what you're going to see. It's just, I posted a picture of a guy with a dog on Twitter not long ago, this little poodle dog. This guy was one of the happiest people I've ever pulled over in my life. As I was making my approach to his car, he actually stuck his head out the window and waved happily at me, like saying hi, like we were long lost friends or something. I mean, he was in like that the whole entire traffic stop. I was like, I wish everybody was this damn happy to get a ticket from me. My life would be so much easier. Because I can guarantee you, if I pull over 10 people, one of them 99% of the time is going to be a complete asshole.
Absolutely, yeah.
A complete asshole. Like it's my fault you're getting stopped.
As you're walking up, what you stopped me for? And I always like to leave that window open. You know why I stopped you? Oh, it's because I got 2 dead bodies in the trunk. Because they're going to tell you why.
Yeah.
Well, I stopped you for speeding, and you wasn't wearing your seatbelt. I'll throw that in there, but
Yeah.
It's-
I can start looking. I could pull up some obscure traffic laws.
yeah, you educated me years and years ago about the windshield law.
Yeah. Well, the cracked windshield?
Yes.
Yes. Well, just the other day, Tuesday, I was heading back from working traffic, and I was in my unit. It was the afternoon. It was hot, and I was going from traffic to go back to my house. So I was doing 68 in a 60 because I'm trying not to back traffic up, but I'm not trying to be a hypocrite because I'm a 11 over guy. So I was only doing 8, which I wouldn't pull myself over for doing that. So I'm watching this vehicle come up. There's a truck coming up. I'm like, he's going to slow down when he sees, I'm a cop. Well, he didn't. He passes me. I get behind him and pull him over. I'm like, Deji, yeah, but I was just in a hurry. No, you're not. Well, now you're going to be later because I just pulled you over. And I looked at it. I said, you got a state sticker saying you can have your front windshield tinted? Oh, no. I said, your sideways look like they're about 5%. Well, I don't know. Well, he wasn't happy when I came back with a temp meter. And yes, he got 2 tickets that day. So now if he'd just slowed down, because I knew he was speeding up behind me, I could have same laned him, but I didn't. He had to be an ass and pass me. Just slow down. I said, next time, just slow down.
Yeah. Well, what kills me with these excuse-making people that we have in the world, they'll say, well, yeah, my tint's illegal, but I didn't know it was illegal when they put it on the car.
I bought the car this way.
Okay, so wait a minute. Now, a gun's not illegal unless you point it at somebody and pull the trigger. You can't, once again, it's excuses. I mean.
Oh, I get it all the time. It's like, well, I bought the car. The windows were already tinted. Don't matter. It's still illegal. So,
and trust me, it looks nice. It really does. It matches your car very well, but it's illegal. You can't have it. It's like going to buy a blue light and put it on your dashboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't plug it in. They can sell it to you. I mean, they sell them every day. You just can't plug it in.
I tell people all the time, well, how can they sell it? Well, I said, if you read the box, it says for off-road use only.
Yeah.
It's like for car shows and stuff like that. I said, they can sell all kind of stuff. It doesn't make it legal to use it on the highway.
That's exactly right.
I don't understand. I've never owned a vehicle. I know some cops doing stuff like that I've never been a whole front windshield tinting type person. I had a vehicle one time. I did have like 5% on it. Never again. None of mine are that dark. Because when I got to roll my own window down to look out to pull out around the intersection at night, my tint's too dark.
Yeah. Well, just now that I'm in my 16th year and come January to be my 17th year, I've never also have put anything on my vehicle that says I'm the police and my personal vehicle. And it's just because you got crazy people in this world. I've been with my family at a restaurant, and somebody I wrote a ticket to comes up to me in the restaurant and starts wanting to argue their ticket. It's like, look, this ain't the time or the place. And I sure don't want to have a big old sticker on my back window and somebody's, going out there to try to harm somebody and sees that. I just think, look, when I punch out and when I get home, I'm just the same old guy I grew up. When I put the uniform on and I put the badge on and I go to work, then I got to do my job. But some people, I work with a lot of them. They take it too serious.
Well, my wife, Bam's Jeep is very pro-blue.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of them. The sheepdogs and all that stuff they had written on them. And hey, and look, I love the stickers. Hey, I got your 6 and all, because I really do see, and I'm really into politics and all, but I really do see something in the very near future between the patriots of our country.
Oh, if it gets to that point, we'll be pulling stuff off of her.
I mean, I do see it. I see
vehicles.
I see the patriots of the country going to have to step up and do something. I really do see it. I mean,
I hope you're wrong.
I do too. I mean, I really do. I just, we have an election coming up, and either way it goes, it's going to go either way. And if it goes one way, it's going to be bad for those folks, and if it goes one way, it's going to be bad for the other folks. And I'm just, you know, you're going to see cities on fire. You're going to see people just acting out, and it's going to be
bring the marshmallows and weenie.
Yeah, it's going to be something, but we'll deal with it when it happens.
Yeah, I'm just not a real religious person, but Jesus help us all. That's all I can say. I'm glad my kids are grown, because I couldn't see bringing up having a little one nowadays. I got grandkids, but whew, how the times are changing.
Yep.
Well, like I said, Maverick has a long trip ahead of him. I have thoroughly enjoyed him being on here. It's been tons of fun, and it's been a good church section, hasn't it? So we're going to end it and close it up. Remember, you can hit me up on Twitter at MotorC. Parlor is at MotorCop Chronicles Podcast. We have our Facebook page, MotorCop Chronicles, and email us at motorcopchronicles@gmail.com. If you're a future wannabe retired motor cop, would like to be on the show, like I said, we're anonymous, so you don't have to worry about that. First responders, military, corrections, let us know. We'll get your story out there and tell us. Or if you just enjoy listening to us, send us an email, you can do that too. And always remember to smile, because the Iceman could be behind you.